The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. It was a cold winter day. The wind was blowing. Snow was falling from the sky. The trees had no leaves. The roads were white with snow. People walked slowly in the village. They wore thick clothes. Everyone was trying to stay warm. This village was small. Not many people lived there. Everyone knew each other. The village had a few houses, a small church, a shop, and an inn. Life was quiet and simple. People worked during the day and rested at night. One day something strange happened. A man came to the village. No one had seen him before. He was not from the village. He came walking from the hills. He carried a big bag in his hand. The snow was heavy, but he kept walking. He looked tired, but he did not stop. The man wore a long coat. The coat was brown and dirty from travel. He had big black gloves on his hands. His boots were wet from the snow. He wore a hat that covered his head. His face was wrapped in bandages. Only his nose and mouth could be seen. He also wore dark glasses, even though it was cloudy outside. His glasses were round and covered most of his face. When the people saw him, they were surprised. "Who is this man?" they asked. "Why is his face covered? Is he sick? Is he hiding something?" Many people looked at him from their windows. Some came outside to see him, but no one talked to him. The man did not speak to anyone. He just walked straight to the inn. The inn was called the Coach and Horses. It was small but warm inside. Mrs. Hall, the woman who owned the inn, was cleaning the front room when the man came in. She looked up and was shocked. She had never seen a guest like this. "Good afternoon, sir," she said. "Can I help you?" "I need a room," the man said in a deep voice. His voice sounded tired and cold. He did not say, "Please." He did not smile. Mrs. Hall looked at him carefully. "Of course, sir," she said. "Would you like to take off your coat?" "No," the man said quickly. "Just give me a room, and bring me some food." Mrs. Hall was a kind woman, but she did not like rude people. Still, she gave him a room. She told her husband, "This man is strange. His face is all wrapped up. He did not even say thank you." The man went to his room and closed the door. He did not come out for a long time. Mrs. Hall brought him food and knocked on his door. He opened it just a little and took the tray. He said nothing. In the evening, he came downstairs. He sat in a corner of the inn. He did not take off his coat or hat. He did not remove his bandages or glasses. He did not speak to anyone. He just sat and read a book. People tried to talk to him, but he only gave short answers. Some of the men in the village were sitting near the fire. They looked at the stranger. One man said, "Maybe he had an accident. Maybe his face was burned." Another man said, "Or maybe he is a criminal. Maybe he's hiding from the police." Everyone was curious. They wanted to know who he was, but no one was brave enough to ask too many questions. The next day, the man stayed in his room. He had many bottles and books with him. He asked Mrs. Hall for a table. He said he needed to do some work. She brought him the table. She also brought him more food, but he still did not talk much. He always wore his coat and gloves. He never took off the bandages. Mrs. Hall told her neighbors, "I think he is a scientist. He has many bottles and strange tools. Maybe he is doing experiments." But the other said, "Then why does he hide his face? Why is he so rude?" Days passed. The man stayed in the inn. He did not go outside. He only came downstairs to eat. Sometimes people heard strange noises from his room. Glass breaking, metal tools falling. Once Mrs. Hall knocked on his door. She asked, "Are you all right, sir?" he shouted. "Go away! Do not disturb me!" Mrs. Hall was angry. "He pays money, but he is not polite. He is not friendly. I don't like him." Children in the village were afraid of him. They called him the Bandaged Man. They followed him when he walked in the village, but they ran away when he looked at them. One day, the village postman came to the inn. He gave the man a letter. The man opened it and read it quickly. Then he shouted, "No, no, this cannot be!" He threw the letter on the floor and ran to his room. Mrs. Hall saw him running. She picked up the letter and looked at it, but it was written in strange symbols. She could not understand it. Now people were more curious than ever. They talked about him every day. Who is he? Why does he hide his face? Why is he so angry? What is he doing in his room? But no one knew the answers. The stranger stayed quiet. He stayed alone. He stayed strange. And so the story of the Invisible Man began. Part 2. The man has a secret. The strange man stayed in the village for many days. He lived in the small inn and never left the building. People still talked about him every day. No one knew who he was. He did not give his name. They called him the Bandaged Man, or the Stranger. The children called him the Ghost Man. Everyone had questions, but no one had answers. He never smiled. He never laughed. He did not talk to people unless he had to. When someone asked him something, he gave short, angry answers. He liked to be alone. He liked to keep the door of his room closed. He did not want anyone to come in. Every day, people heard strange sounds from his room. Bottles clinked. Glass broke. Sometimes there was smoke coming from under the door. There was a bad smell in the hallway. It was not the smell of food or flowers. It smelled like chemicals. It made Mrs. Hall cough. She asked the man, "Sir, are you feeling all right? Are you making something dangerous?" The man shouted, "Leave me alone. I am doing science. I need peace and quiet." Mrs. Hall was surprised and scared. She told her husband, "He is doing something big. I don't know what, but it is strange. He never opens his window. He never takes off his bandages. He hides something." One day, the man ran out of money. He could not pay for food or the room. Mrs. Hall asked him kindly, "Sir, I'm sorry, but you must pay now." "You have stayed many days." The man became angry. He hit the table and said, "I will get money. I just need time." But he did not go out to find work. He stayed in his room, working on bottles and papers. He had no job, but he was always busy. People started to think he was mad, maybe even dangerous. In the village, there was a poor man named Mr. Marvel. He was lazy and not very smart, but he liked to talk to people. One evening, he was walking near the fields. Suddenly, he heard a voice. "Hey, you there!" Mr. Marvel looked around. No one was there. He was alone. "Who said that?" he asked. "I did," said the voice again. Mr. Marvel turned left and right. "Where are you? I can hear you, but I can't see you." Then he felt something on his arm. It was a hand, but no one was there. Mr. Marvel screamed, "A ghost! A ghost!" "No," said the voice. "I am not a ghost. I am a man, but I am invisible. You cannot see me." Mr. Marvel fell on the ground. He was shaking. "Invisible? How? Why?" The voice said, "Be quiet and listen. I need your help." Now Mr. Marvel was very scared. He said, "Please don't hurt me." The invisible man said, "I will not hurt you, but you must help me. I cannot do everything alone." Mr. Marvel said, "What do you want?" The voice said, "I need food, I need clothes, and I need you to carry things for me. I cannot be seen, but I need help." Mr. Marvel agreed. He was too afraid to say no. He followed the invisible man back toward the village. While this was happening, something strange happened at the inn. Mrs. Hall and her husband went into the man's room while he was out. They wanted to clean the room, but they also wanted to see what he was doing. They saw bottles, papers, and tools on the table. There were books with notes in strange writing. There was a big mirror and many broken glass tubes. Mrs. Hall said, "I told you, he is doing experiments." But just then, the door slammed shut. The chair moved by itself. The papers flew in the air. The bed jumped. Mrs. Hall screamed, "A ghost! A ghost is here!" They ran out of the room. A minute later, the man came back. He was very angry. "Who came into my room? Who touched my things?" he shouted. "You are not normal," Mrs. Hall said. "Strange things happen when you are not here. Is it magic? Is it ghosts?" The man stopped. He was breathing hard. Then he said, "Fine. You want to know the truth? I will show you." He took off his hat. Then he pulled away the bandages. He took off his dark glasses. The people in the inn screamed. There was nothing under the bandages. No face, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, just empty air. The man shouted, "Look! Now you see my secret. I am invisible. There is no face, no body, nothing. I did this with science." Everyone screamed and ran away. The man laughed, but it was a sad laugh. He said, "I made myself invisible. I wanted to be great. I wanted power. But now I cannot go back. I cannot become normal again. I am stuck like this forever." He picked up his bag and ran outside. People saw the door open, but no one saw him go. The invisible man was gone. Now the village was in shock. "A real invisible man," they said. "That's impossible!" But it was true. The stranger with the bandages was a scientist. He had made a big mistake. Now he could not be seen, and he could not be free. He needed help, and he needed money. But he was alone, and the world was afraid of him. He had a secret. Now the secret was out, and soon everything would change. Part 3. The Invisible Man Becomes Dangerous. The whole village was afraid. Now the people knew the truth. The strange man in the inn, the one with the bandages, the hat and the dark glasses, was not normal. He was invisible. There was no face under the bandages. There was no body under the coat. He was a man that no one could see. Some people thought he was a ghost. Others thought he was using black magic. But he was not a ghost or a wizard. He was a scientist who did something very strange. He had made himself invisible with a science experiment. Now he could not change back. He had no face, no skin, no body that anyone could see. When he showed his invisible face, people screamed. Some ran into their homes and locked the doors. Others left the village because they were too scared to stay. Shops closed early. Children stopped playing in the streets. The small, quiet village was now full of fear. The invisible man ran away from the inn. No one could see where he went, but they could hear him. Sometimes he kicked a can on the street. Sometimes a door opened and closed by itself. Sometimes people heard loud laughter in the night, but no one was there. The man was angry. He was very angry. He said to himself, "They are afraid of me. Good. I want them to be afraid. I have no home. I have no face. I have no help. I will take what I want. I will scare them all." He became dangerous. He walked into shops and took food without paying. The shopkeepers could not stop him. They did not see who took the bread or the apples. They just saw the food disappear. If someone tried to stop him, they felt a slap on the face, but no hand was there. He went into houses and broke things. He opened drawers. He smashed plates. He pulled books off shelves. He made a big mess and left the people crying. One man shouted, "Stop! Who's there?" But no one answered. He picked up a stick and tried to hit the air, but the stick hit nothing. The invisible man laughed. "You cannot stop me! You cannot catch me!" At night, he knocked on windows and threw stones at doors. Dogs barked, but they did not know where to run. People put blankets over their windows and prayed. They said, "Please go away. Please do not come to my house." But the invisible man did not stop. He wanted power. He wanted control. He wanted the whole village to know he was the most important person now. He said, "They cannot see me. I'm like a god to them. I will do what I want." He found Mr. Marvel again, the man who had helped him before. Mr. Marvel was afraid, but he could not run. The invisible man said, "You will help me again. Carry my books. Carry my money. Go where I tell you to go." Mr. Marvel said, "Please, I don't want to help anymore." But the invisible man shouted, "If you say no, I will hurt you." "You know I can do it. I am everywhere, and I am nowhere. You cannot hide from me." Mr. Marvel cried and said yes. He did not want to get hurt. Together, they went to different towns. The invisible man stole more food. He stole money. He broke into houses. He pushed people and hurt them. When people screamed, he laughed. In one town, he even broke the windows of a police station. He wanted the police to be scared too. He wanted everyone to know his name. But he had no name anymore. He was just the invisible man. He said to Mr. Marvel, "Now, listen to my plan. I will start a reign of terror. That means I will do something terrible every day. I will break something. I will hurt someone. I will show people that they are weak. I am the only strong one. I will be king. No one can see me. No one can stop me." Mr. Marvel was shocked. "This is not right," he said. "You can't hurt people. You can't be king." But the invisible man did not listen. His heart had become cold. He had no love, no kindness, only anger. He was tired of hiding. He was tired of being afraid. Now he wanted others to be afraid. Instead, Mr. Marvel finally ran away. He took the invisible man's books and hid in another town. He went to the police and said, "Help me! The invisible man is crazy. He wants to hurt everyone. Please stop him before it's too late." Now, the police knew the truth. The invisible man was not just strange. He was dangerous. The police started looking for him. They told people to lock their doors. They told the shopkeepers to stay alert. They wanted to catch the invisible man. But how do you catch someone you cannot see? The whole country was talking about it. Newspapers wrote stories. The front page said, "Invisible man destroys village. People live in fear." The invisible man read the paper and smiled. "Good," he said. "Now the whole world knows me." But he did not know that someone else was watching him closely. A man named Dr. Kemp. He was a smart man. He was also a scientist. He lived in a big house on a hill. He had heard about the invisible man. He wanted to know more. And soon, the invisible man would go to him for help. But what would happen next? Would Dr. Kemp help the invisible man? Or would he stop him? The story was not over yet. Part 4. A Man Tries to Help. The Invisible Man was now very dangerous. He had hurt people. He had stolen money. He had scared the whole village. And now he wanted to start a reign of terror. That meant he wanted to do bad things every day. He wanted people to fear him. But not everyone was afraid. One man wanted to know the truth. His name was Dr. Kemp. He was a smart man. He lived in a big white house on a quiet hill. He was a scientist. He read books. He worked in his lab. He liked science and quiet thinking. One evening, Dr. Kemp was reading in his room. The wind was blowing outside. Suddenly, he heard a voice. "Kemp, Kemp, let me in." Dr. Kemp stood up. He looked around. No one was there. The voice came again. "It's me, Griffin. Open the door." Dr. Kemp was confused. "Griffin?" he said. "Griffin was my classmate in college. He was very clever, but he left many years ago." He opened the door. No one was outside. But then, the door opened by itself. The wind did not blow it. A chair moved. The coat stand fell. Then, slowly, the air spoke again. "I am Griffin. I am here." Dr. Kemp was shocked. He said, "Where are you?" The voice said, "I am here, in front of you. I am invisible. I made myself invisible. It was a science experiment. I was trying to be great. But now, I cannot go back to normal." Dr. Kemp sat down. "This is hard to believe. You are invisible? You really did it." Griffin said, "Yes, I lived in the village, wearing bandages. But people were afraid of me. They tried to stop me. So now I will stop them. I will be the most powerful man in the world. And you, Kemp, you will help me." Dr. Kemp did not say anything. He was surprised, but he listened. Griffin told him everything. How he made the experiment. How he left London. How he stayed at the inn. How the people ran from him. How he stole money. How he wanted power. How he wanted to start the reign of terror. Dr. Kemp listened quietly, but inside he was afraid. Griffin said, "You are smart. You understand science. Help me. Be my partner. We will rule together." Dr. Kemp stood up slowly. "Griffin, I cannot help you. What you are doing is wrong. You are hurting people. You are stealing. You are making people afraid. This is not science. This is evil." Griffin became angry. "You are just like the others. You don't understand me. They laughed at me. They ran away from me. Now you say no to me too." Dr. Kemp walked to the door. "Griffin, listen to me. Stop this now. You can come back. You can try to fix the experiment." But Griffin shouted, "No, I don't want to go back. I want to move. Forward, I want power." Then Griffin pushed the table. The glass broke. Books fell. A lamp crashed to the ground. Kemp ran out of the room and locked the door. He quickly wrote a letter to the police. "Come fast," he wrote. "The Invisible Man is here. He is dangerous." He gave the letter to his servant. "Run to the police station. Don't stop." The servant ran down the hill. Griffin saw the man through the window. He understood what Kemp had done. "No," Griffin screamed. "You told the police. You betrayed me." He broke the window and jumped out. No one could see him, but people heard his angry voice. "I will get you, Kemp. I will hurt you. You cannot hide from me." Kemp locked all the doors and windows. He stayed inside, but he was shaking. He knew Griffin was now very dangerous. The police came fast. Kemp told them everything. "His name is Griffin. He is invisible. He is angry. He wants to hurt me," The police said, "Don't worry, we will protect you. We will catch him." The police told the whole village, "Stay inside. Lock your doors. The Invisible Man is here. He is not a ghost. He is a man who did a science experiment, but now he is dangerous. He wants to hurt people." People were afraid again, but now they were also ready to fight. They wanted to stop Griffin. The police made a plan. They would look for signs, footprints in the grass, food that disappeared, doors that opened by themselves. They would try to catch the Invisible Man. They had long sticks, ropes, and nets. They even brought dogs. Kemp stayed inside his house. He watched the windows. He listened for sounds. He was scared. He knew Griffin would try to come back. Outside, the police and villagers worked together. They said, "We must stop him before he hurts more people." But where was Griffin? He was hiding. He was watching. He was waiting. He wanted to get revenge. He wanted to hurt Kemp. He was angry, alone, and dangerous. And now, the final chase was about to begin. Part 5. The End of the Invisible Man. The whole town was watching. Everyone was scared, but they were ready. Griffin, the Invisible Man, was still free. He was angry. He was dangerous. He wanted to hurt Dr. Kemp. He wanted to show the world that he was strong. But now the people knew his secret. They knew he was not a ghost. He was just a man who could not be seen. Dr. Kemp stayed in his house on the hill. He waited for Griffin to come. The police were outside. The villagers were hiding behind trees. They had sticks, ropes, and nets. Everyone was ready. But Griffin was quiet. No one could hear him. No one could see him. Then, in the dark of early morning, he came. Dr. Kemp heard the door move. He knew it was Griffin. He ran from the room. He shouted, "He's here! The Invisible Man is here!" The police came quickly, but Griffin was faster. He opened a window and jumped outside. He began to run. No one could see him, but they could hear his feet on the ground. Follow the sound. One man shouted. Griffin ran down the hill. He knocked people over. He pushed through the trees. The people followed. Dogs barked. The police blew their whistles. Kemp ran too. He wanted to stop Griffin. The chase had begun. Griffin ran into the town. He pushed over a cart. He broke windows. He kicked doors. People screamed. But now they were not only afraid, they were angry. "He hurt our village," they said. "We must stop him." One man saw footprints in the dust. "He's there! Follow the prints!" Griffin was tired. He had not eaten. He had not slept. He could not hide forever. The people were faster now. The police were everywhere. Griffin ran to a small street near the market, but the people were already there. They had big sticks and heavy shoes. They waited for him. Griffin tried to push past them, but a man hit the air with a stick. He felt something. He hit again. "He's here," the man shouted. "Hit him! He's here!" More people came. They all began to hit the empty space. Someone caught his arm. Another grabbed his foot. Griffin screamed, "Let me go! You fools! You cannot stop me!" But it was too late. They hit him again and again. His body fell to the ground. They still could not see him, but they knew he was there. He made no sound now. He did not move. He was not breathing. The people stepped back. "Is he dead?" someone asked. The police touched the air. It felt cold. It felt like a body. Slowly, very slowly, something strange began to happen. Griffin's invisible body started to change. First, they saw a faint shape on the ground, then a hand, then an arm, then his face. His eyes were closed. His lips were still. His face was thin and tired. The people watched in silence. The man who scared them, the man who broke windows, the man who said he would rule the world, was just lying there like anyone else. They could see his whole body now. He was not a monster. He was not a ghost. He was a man who made a terrible mistake. Dr. Kemp walked closer. He looked at the face. He said softly, "Yes, it is Griffin." One boy asked, "Why did he do all this?" Dr. Kemp said, "He was a scientist. He was very smart. He wanted to be great. He used science to become invisible, but he used it the wrong way. He hurt people. He wanted power. He thought no one could stop him, but in the end, his own anger stopped him." The police took Griffin's body. They covered him with a cloth and carried him away. The village was quiet again. People looked around. The sun was coming up. The fear was gone now. The danger was over. Dr. Kemp stood for a long time. He thought about Griffin. He had a good mind, Kemp said, but he had a bad heart. The villagers slowly returned to their homes. The children came outside again. The shops opened. Life went back to normal. But the people did not forget. They remembered the man who wanted too much power. They remembered what fear felt like. Kemp went back to his house. He looked at his books. He looked at his lab. He said to himself, "Science is powerful, but we must use it with care." Science can help people, but it can also hurt them. Griffin forgot this. He wanted to be great, but he lost everything. Later, newspapers wrote the story. The title was, "The Invisible Man is Dead. Science, Anger, and a Warning to the World." Some people felt sad. Some people felt afraid. But everyone agreed. Griffin's story was a lesson. He wanted to be more than a man. He became invisible. But in the end, he lost his way, and his own anger destroyed him.